It seems like Jamie Lynn Spears wants us to talk about her book because she's been leaking it out to the media, and it looks like she's exposing everyone. People magazine got the exclusive on this one, and I'm starting to notice that Jamie Lynn Spears must have a friend at People magazine because they continue to publish breaking stories about her. And in this article, we get a sneak peek into what Jamie Lynn's book looks like. I have a feeling that maybe Jamie Lynn is trying to switch up this book because now it's all about her trials and tribulations and all of the hardships she's gone through. And I feel like since she's gotten a bunch of backlash over the Free Britney movement, she's trying to play victim. And I guess this book is her vehicle to do so. So let's go ahead and jump into this book segment. That's pretty much what I want to talk about in today's video, but there are a few takeaways from this book, and there are a few people who are mentioned. So let's go ahead and get into it. So pretty much this excerpt that we're going to be reading today is from a time when Jamie Lynn found out she was pregnant, which you guys may remember that she recently went to the press talking about her pregnancy and how badly her parents treated her. Keep in mind, she was a minor at this time, and she's claiming she was controlled and all that, but it would make sense to me because she's 16 years old, and it's not like she was planning this pregnancy, so of course her parents stepped in. And I don't know how you can compare that to what Britney has gone through as a complete adult for the past 13 years. She was put in the conservatorship at 26 years old, so it's very different than Jamie Lynn's pregnancy at 16. So even though I would love to read this in an accent, I don't think I could do that the whole time. Like, I came home from school, but I just can't. Okay, so let's go ahead and just read it. I came home from school and Daddy and Brian were there. A single day had elapsed before Daddy's anger brought out the sense of dread everyone felt about my situation. So I guess in the book at this point, everyone already knows that she's pregnant besides her dad, or I guess her dad does know. Once Mama and Daddy told my team, things spiraled out of control pretty quickly. When I walked in, Daddy, Brian, and Mama, so where's Britney, were in the house, and a member of my financial management team was on the phone, who I wonder who that is. Maybe Lewis Taylor, who knows? There was a whole lot of fighting going on between everyone involved. The entire Spears team was already caught up in my sister's PR difficulties, and everyone around me just wanted to make this issue disappear, which is so sad. My family and management pulled me out of school until they could figure out what to do next. They took my smartphone away, fearing the news would get out, and insisted that no one share any information with anyone, especially the press. My daddy and I stopped speaking, and the tension was terrible. I wonder if Jamie Lynn was living at her father's home at this point. I guess she was, because she was 16, and it's not like she was emancipated, so I guess there was a lot of tension in the home after she became pregnant, which honestly I believe that, because I can't imagine, Jamie Spears being the cool dad that's okay with his 16-year-old daughter getting pregnant. So Jamie Lynn writes, or her ghostwriter writes, for the first few days, I spent most of the time in my room. Everyone had their own opinion about what was best for me. One person after another, and there were many, came to my room trying to convince me that having a baby at this point in my life was a terrible idea. I feel so bad for her daughter. Like, if her daughter reads this, there was a lot of chatter, but none of it felt right to me. It will kill your career. You are just too young. You don't know what you're doing, which honestly, it kind of did kill her career, but her career was based off of Britney. There are pills you can take. We can help you take care of this problem. Think about what you're doing to your family. So that is a lot of blame to be putting on Jamie Lynn. And honestly, I do have empathy when it comes to her in this situation, because that does sound traumatic. I guess someone asked Jamie Lynn, doesn't the family have enough to deal with? I know a doctor. So again, trying to make her get rid of her child. There are procedures that remedy mistakes like this. the way that she's describing this, like, I wonder if they really did talk like that. You don't have to do this. He's a lose, talking about the baby daddy, which he is a loser, and he's gotten in trouble before. He's gotten arrested. He's gotten charges. This guy is no good, but it looks like he's not really in his daughter's life, so whatever. He'll never be able to take care for the baby or you. Jamie Lynn, don't make a mistake you'll regret for the rest of your life. I'll never forget that last plea of making a mistake I would regret, because it reinforced my decision to have my baby. Which, again, I don't understand. Also, I'm thinking, like, aren't her parents and her management team like a bunch of Christians? So why would they want her to get rid of her baby? I feel like that's very, like, not pro-life, which sometimes can be associated with Christianity, not always. I'm not trying to be ignorant, but I'm just associating because, like, Liam Taylor, her business manager, who started working with her before this, so who would probably be aware of the situation, I feel like she would be fully against a procedure like that. Let's continue with the excerpt. Discussions continued, and everyone was certain that termination would be the best course of action. I'll never forget when a member of my team stood up for me and said, "Y'all can't force her to get rid of the baby." She was the first and only person on my team to show any support for my desire to keep my baby. Which, wait, maybe that is Liam Taylor, which honestly, that sounds about right to me. And speaking of Lou Taylor, the next option was for me to go to Mercy Ministries, a home for unwed mothers in Tennessee, where I could eventually give up my baby for adoption. Daddy and I fought, slinging words and tossing insults. He grabbed me by the shoulders and held on me tightly in the hopes of bending me to his will. That sounds like a little bit of like physical force. Like, I don't know that sounds like physical force to me. I got in his face and yelled, "No, I won't go." I couldn't deal with any of them. I ran away from them, panting with rage. Which, wait, hold on. So the next option was for me to go to Mercy Ministries. So I'm trying to understand. So she had to go to Mercy Ministries if she kept her baby, which Mercy Ministries is a foundation or an organization or a program or whatever that Liam Taylor has been associated with. I'm not going to go and make any claims about it, but you guys can go and just spend a second to think about the dark and evil and horrible things in the world, and just like kind of like think about a church camp for girls and just put it all together. So because Jamie Lynn didn't go to Mercy Ministries, she claims that home felt like a prison without a smartphone or a connection to the outside world. My team believed everyone outside of the inner circle was a potential threat. They went so far as hiding my pregnancy from my sister. So I guess that was her team's decision, which I feel like if you're really that close to your sister, then that would be your choice. Like, you would just do it. Claiming it's too risky to tell Britney about the baby. I needed her more than ever, and she wasn't able to help me in my most vulnerable time. Britney's condition was spiraling into something more concerning. So Britney was going through her own thing at the time, but it sounds like Jamie Lynn's a little bit like shading Britney there, claiming that, "Oh, I needed you," but like, it just doesn't seem like they had that type of relationship. So I guess their team, or Britney's team, was concerned for Britney's instability at the time, and it made her untrustworthy, so they didn't want to give her that news, which, again, crapping on Britney during a time where she really needs support. Like, great one, Jamie Lynn. I love how you decided to release this excerpt. I went along with what my team told me to do because I was a minor and didn't want to create any more issues. Okay, now you're a minor. Britney learned of the pregnancy when the article was released, which I'm sure that was probably like, imagine how she felt too. Like, I'm sure Jamie Lynn was going through a lot, and I don't doubt it. But like, Britney probably also felt like, screw you. Like, you didn't come and tell your own sister. Like, you couldn't trust me with that. I don't think Britney's the type that would run off to the media and go tell them that Jamie Lynn's pregnant. To this day, the hurt of not being able to tell my sister lingers. So looks like that's pretty traumatic for Jamie Lynn. Continuing with this book, I was still suffering with morning sickness, which in a way drained me of any fight I had left at the time. I was banished and basically hidden away. Misery and loneliness persisted. Those feelings intensified when the team decided Mama and I should be moved from our house to a secure location far away until the OK magazine released the story. You guys may remember that Jamie Lynn broke the story through OK magazine, which I'm sure she was paid a pretty penny for that. I don't understand why they had to run away, but maybe because the paparazzi, because they were like savages at that time, and they would follow people. But Jamie Lynn claims going away to this far and secure location irritated her. Yet I still couldn't garner the strength to object. Supported by our security team, my mom and I traveled to Connecticut, or so I was told, to an undisclosed location. So is she claiming that she didn't even know where she was at? She's saying Connecticut, or so I was told. What do you mean? Like, you don't even know what state you were sent to. Like, I feel like you can at least ask your mom that, like, before you write the book. We flew into New York and then drove for what felt like hours. She was probably like, oh, this driving so long, blah, blah, blah. To this day, I'm not sure where in the Northeast we hid. I don't know why, but that's really weird to me. Do you guys agree? Like, what? I mean, I feel like at this point, she should at least know. Like, it's been so long. And she's writing a whole book about it. Yeah, you don't know where you were sent to. Ooh, add a layer of mystery, don't we? Jamie Lynn goes on to say that my baby and I were big news. They were big news. Traveling through airports was out of the question. We stayed sequestered for a few more days and drove the 22 hours back to Kentwood to avoid paparazzi. The cabin was bad enough, but the endless hours cooped up in the car were awful. I can't imagine her like in the car, like Jamie Lynn, like her voice complaining in the car, like, oh, I already don't like car rides and I complain in the car ride, so me and her complaining to each other, she would win and I would just like disintegrate. Anyways, I was uncomfortable and I tried to sleep most of the way home, and still the isolation continued. This was a painful time for me. At 16, my impressionable heart had already woven dreams of a home where Casper and I could raise our baby and prove that we could be happy. I remember her doing a magazine where she showed her home and her like boy, and they were all like, you know, a happy family, which was so bizarre because you could be 16 and pregnant and have a kid and you don't have to be like a full-blown adult, you know, like let's normalize, you know, having pregnancy at 16 and not having to force yourself into a home and become full-blown adults. The only way that could happen, I guess, getting that home and becoming that family and fast, was to move out from underneath my parents' roof and be on my own. Resistance to this idea came quickly from all fronts. My mama and my daddy thought I was being foolish, and my brother Brian felt sad that I was dealing with such weighty decisions at my age. Britney was in the midst of her own crisis, and because we were isolated from each other, our communication was non-existent, which I will go on to say again and again and again that Britney and Jamie Lynn aren't like siblings. Like, I have a sister and I just know in my heart that Jamie Lynn and Britney aren't like me and my sister. They didn't grow up around each other. Britney was working all the time. They have a large age gap, and it makes sense that they had no communication. Isn't it a little weird that Jamie Lynn has this constant communication with Brian? We see his name throughout this text. So Brian and Jamie Lynn are talking, and he's much older than both of them. So I don't quite understand like why Britney is left out. I just don't think they have that great of a relationship. So Jamie Lynn continues and says, my family denied my attempts to be independent and left me with no other choice than to threaten to file for emancipation with the courts. Wow. I spent days agonizing with my pending decision, but I followed my gut and instructed my new lawyer to go ahead and draw up the petition. Shoot. The following Saturday morning, my lawyer and I showed up and served my mama with papers. Wow, she did get emancipated. Daddy was gone at that point, and Mama contacted the team to discuss the issues. They had real concerns about me marrying my boyfriend, and it looks like the parents didn't want him to have access to all of her earnings. At the same time, her sister Britney was experiencing her own breakdown. Why are we continuing to bring up Britney's issues? Like, it's weird how she can't tell this story without talking about Britney's breakdown and issues, and the media speculation about her wellness in our family already had the paparazzi swarming. Everyone involved with my saga reluctantly agreed that we needed to do what was best to avoid any more negative media attention. Wait, and that's it? That's it? Wait, so I feel like everyone involved reluctantly agreed. So it sounds like to me like did she ever get emancipated? I'm gonna have to go and check that right now. Okay, so I was looking up on my computer and then I looked up on my phone and I literally can't find anything about Jamie Lynn getting emancipated back then. So I'm assuming that the team, you know, being reluctant to this idea is the idea of her, you know, being emancipated. So she probably didn't go through with that because it looks like Jamie Lynn is a follower and she follows whatever her team has to say. But I want to hear what you guys think in the comments below. That was just a little bit of her book and I decided I wanted to go and read it for you guys. Britney did post a savage post on her Instagram and I'm really excited for her because this is the week for her freedom and I'm going to be at the rally. I'm so excited to be there and meet some of you guys, and hopefully Britney will be free on Friday. So I want to hear what you guys think in the comments below. Even Jamie Lynn can't stop the courts from freeing Britney Spears because Free Britney will prevail. But anyways, leave a comment below, and should I go ahead and open a PO box package item? So it looks like her name is Nyasha. Let's go ahead and see what's going on, and she's from the Midwest. Let's see where my stabby thing is at. Ooh, I love the pink note, Sloan. Hi, my name is Nyasha. I've been watching your videos for years now. Well, I've only been doing YouTube, but it's gonna be 2 years in December. So, I've loved watching you and your channel grow. Thank you so much, Nyasha. I really appreciate that. You're an OG. I'm sending you my lip gloss called Clearly from my makeup brand. I hope you love it. Well, honestly, I'm not much of a makeup wearer, but I'll go ahead and try it. And this is her brand right here, which is called Savage Goddess, which we love that. Go and support her brand and a fellow subscriber. And let's go ahead and see what's going on here. The packaging's really nice. It's got the pink and the black, and it's got like its own branding, which is cool. And wow, it's like a fat tube. You know what I mean? That's a fat tube. Let's go ahead and check it out. I don't know what it smells like. But it smells good. I don't have like much like scent right now. I don't know why. I think my allergies are kicking. Am I doing this? Oh my gosh. Look at me. Oh. This is so funny. It's like literally like 8:30 at night, which is not that late, but I had 2 beers. Yeah, that's nice. Whoa. And you get a lot of product in there. You hear that? Wow, thank you so much, Nyasha. I love the packaging. And it's wow. Okay, Sloan. I feel like who's the Manny MUA? Hi, Manny MUA. I don't know. I can't. I'm like, you hear the siren? The siren is telling me to stop. Okay, anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. My lips are popping, so I'm gonna go and end this video. Thank you guys so much, and I'll see you in a new one soon. Go and check out Nyasha's brand. It's gonna be linked below. Bye, guys.